Well, hello. My name is Josh Decker, and I've got a question for you. Do you ever feel like bedtime with your kids is like a battle? Right? Like you need to don on full body armor to go into this battle to get your kids in bed. I can tell you, we've got three boys ranging in age from 1 to 10, and it seems like a battle for us every night. And so, that's somewhat normal. But did you know that there are things that you can do to make that easier? And so I want to share with you tonight 6 things that might completely change your bedtime routine and experience. Number 5 is probably one of the most important ones. So be sure to hang in there, hang with me the whole time, and that one will probably shock you a little bit. So getting our kids to bed is important, right? We all know that our kids need sleep. We all know that they need the rest, that their bodies are growing, especially when they're really little. But how to get them there, especially when they get to the point where they're like fighting and struggling and going, no, I don't want to go to sleep, because they're afraid they might miss something, right? Well, there's actually a lot of things that you can do to really help with that and get them ready for bed. Beyond the, brush your teeth, take a bath, brush your hair, those kind of things that we all think about. So one thing, and this one may be kind of a little bit of a no-brainer, is give them a specific bedtime, right? And personally, I don't care what the bedtime is for my kids, my 10-year-old and my 4-year-old. Our bedtime is 8 o'clock. Some people might think that's too late. Some people might go, man, you put your kids to bed way early, and other people go, I know for me, my sister and I were only a year and a half apart, not 6 years apart. And they went, my sister got to stay up a half hour later than I did growing up, right? It doesn't really matter how it works. Just make the bedtime consistent, because then your body gets into the circadian rhythm. It creates a natural rhythm where it expects to get the right amount of sleep, or the same amount of sleep, or at least go to bed at the same time every night. So that's probably one of the most foundational things. The second thing is make sure they've got movement earlier in the day, right? Doing movement right before bed, playing hard and roughhousing, it's just going to wind them up. It's going to release some endorphins for sure. It might actually release a little bit of adrenaline, which is going to be counterproductive to sleep. So you want them moving and playing, which is normal for kids, but not right before bedtime. The next one is to build a little bit of a cave, right? And so what I mean by that is have a room, their bedroom, obviously, that's conducive to sleeping. Now, I know in our house this is really challenging. We have 2 boys in the same bedroom, and they've got one bed, that's their bunk bed, that's where they sleep, but they've got another bed in the room that separates their play space, because we don't have a lot of space for them to be elsewhere. So minimize that as much as you can, and that actually goes right into the next one. So number 4 is keep the bedroom for sleeping. And I know that's a challenge for a lot of people. I mean, how many of us as parents are guilty of saying, hey, go to your room and play, right? I know I was making dinner for my kids last night, and I did it, right? Get out of my hair, I'm making dinner, go play in your bedroom, and I better not hear you fighting. But what happens when we do that is the mind kind of goes, oh, this is a place to play, this is a place to be active and awake, as opposed to this is the place that we go to sleep, right? So create that sacred space as much as you can. That's very, very important. And then the one that I thought might be a real surprise, and this one is very, very important, is to unwind, right? And specifically, unwind from screen time. Right? So how many of us, I know we do it, or we've done it, it's the tablet, it's the TV, it's, whatever the screen is, but, up until bedtime, we have the TV on, our kids are reading or playing games or whatever, and it's really convenient for us, right? We've got stuff we've got to do. We're trying to take care of smaller kids, or, trying to talk to people, or whatever the thing is. It's very, very convenient, and there's no judgment here, because we do it still, right? But what we know, what studies have shown, is that there is a blue light that's emitted from these screens, and that blue light actually inhibits the production of serotonin, which then helps you wind down and go to sleep. Okay, serotonin is a precursor to melatonin. It prohibits the production of melatonin, which is the precursor to serotonin. Okay, so what we're doing when we're in front of screens all the way up until we go to bed is we're actually preventing our minds from kicking in that natural circadian rhythm and going, you know what? It's time to wind down. It's time to get ready to slow down, and it's time to go to bed. Okay, so it's really important that we take that break from screen time. And I know I'm guilty of it. There's a lot of times I'm laying in bed, right, doing stuff on my phone until I'm asleep. But that actually prevents us from getting the kind of sleep that we need. We might still be able to fall asleep, but because our body hasn't produced the hormones that it needs, it prevents us from getting the kind of sleep that we need. Okay, so we want to limit that sleep, screen time at the end of the day. And then the last one is it's important for the kids to sleep on their own, right? So, and what I mean is not necessarily, it's not a dig about co-sleep or anything like that, but here's the thing. When you sleep with something in your bed with you, you're not going to get as restful of sleep as you could. And so, whether they sleep with you or whatever, I'm not going to get into that, but as I explored this in my family, one of the things that we have done is we send our dog to bed. Now, my oldest son is on the top bunk, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But my 4-year-old, who it's probably really critical that he's getting good sleep, how much is that dog disturbing his sleep? Right? And so that's, part of it, making sure that, again, the environment is conducive for sleep. And so having an animal in bed with you, or having, a child, if your child comes to bed with you, it's disruptive to both of you, right? And so you just want to be really careful of how often you let that kind of disruptive sleep happen, because it can build up for sure and end up in sleep deprivation. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. What I'd love to do is, share with you some more. So there's one thing that I didn't share, and that's kind of the secret sauce that we use in my house to help our kids have sleep. So if you want to hear, if this was helpful to you, and you want to hear a little bit about the secret sauce that I have, drop a comment or send me a PM. I would love to share with you kind of that little secret sauce, and it's actually secret sauce our kids love. So drop a comment, send me a PM, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next live.